All right, I'm Chandra, and I'm here with my new horse, Apollo, and I'm going to just start the beginnings of the groundwork with him. So I'm just going to go through. I'm just going to go through all the groundwork with him. I bought him at an auction a few weeks ago, and so he hasn't really had anything done with him. He can be kind of pushy. He's pretty quiet and pushy and not very sensitive or spooky. And obviously kind of pushy. So the first thing I'm going to teach him, the first thing I already taught him is, I already caught him, he's good about catching, and then I did the first leading lesson and I led him to the round pen. So he already knows how to lead, and I'll stop and back him up. So I'm going to do another lesson with him. All the horses that are really pushy, I want to do the backing lesson really early with them. And so want that on his nose. So I'm just going to teach him to back up off of the halter pressure. So the only reason he's got a stud chain is because he is pushy, and I'm not going to yank on him. It's just going to help him learn. So I'm just going to apply just gentle pressure, and there he kind of stepped back to get a fly, but I'm going to release. So I'm going to pull, release. So the light pressure, I'm going to increase it every 3 seconds. So I just want to create my space, like this is my space here, this is your space over here. So he already has the idea of how to back up from that first leading lesson, and then teaching him like this is just going to help me have more control once I start teaching him the rest of the lessons. Because I'd like him to stand kind of over there and not be all in my space. And I want to teach him the backing up lesson before I start feeding him treats and adding in any positive reinforcement, because he needs to know to respect my space first, because he is kind of a pushy horse, so the treats will make that a little bit worse until he's trained on how to take them. It's not permanent. It takes a couple of times, or maybe even one time, but he will learn where he's supposed to be. So I would just do the same thing on the other side, and I don't switch the chain or anything. Just hold him and release. It's just important that you release when he shifts his wake back. If they're really resistant, just hold until they shift that way, and then I would release. So hold, there. So he was just picking his foot up for a fly, so I kept going till he actually backed up. But you can do this in just a regular nylon halter. They will be more pushy in that type of halter. And I usually just prefer to use a rope halter. That seems to work the best, but this is what I had for him, so this works too. So that's the backing up lesson, and then he already knows, like this lesson, and I just kind of back him. That was from the first leading lesson, just to kind of get him on my space. And I just kind of pick my arms up, like, I'm not going to hit him, I'm not going to whack on him, I'm not going to push his face away. I'm just going to create, this is my space, and I just don't want him in there. So that's the first backing lesson with a pushy horse.